just kind of getting out there and getting some extended minutes?
Felt good. Like I always elaborate actually. Just getting out there, having fun. Training camp was very, good, very intense. I felt like we pinpointed on the things that we needed to, and we displayed that against the Nuggets.
What are the coaches emphasizing with you on sort of priorities so that when you're out there, that you give yourself the best chance to get minutes here?
I think the biggest thing, I'm not even worried about that part. I think it's more so, team-wise, just playing together, picking the pace up, knocking down open shots, and just getting to the next action. So I feel like, just keep doing that, and everything else will take care of itself.
Just when it comes to the ball movement and kind of the free-flowing way this team wants to play, how does that mesh with your game and how you kind of run the offense when you're out there?
I think the biggest thing is just going with what the game gives you, whether that's driving and kicking or the clock running down. You got an ISO situation. You take advantage of it. So I feel like I did a great job of that. Displayed that with two step backs, and I feel like it ended the clock. It just showed how what's the word for it? What's the word for it when you got so many options on the team
Right.
Yeah, I feel like we got so many different varieties of guys who can do that. And I've definitely displayed that for against Nuggets.
Bones with you got Rob, you, and Mike as point guards with this team, but you got a lot of other primary initiators, Julius and Dante like that. As a point guard, how do you navigate that of want to be the guy that's initiating and controlling the offense, but giving them space to be a playmaker too?
I think the biggest thing is we all can be interchangeable. One can play the one can play the two. I was in college playing the two, if you go back and look. So I'm very comfortable with having the ball in my hands or without having the ball in my hands. I can fill the spot with catching and shooting, playing off the catch, or I can also initiate offense too. So I feel like we're all interchangeable, so it's not just one guy's just a one and one guy's just a two. So I feel like we're all interchangeable.
How does Ant want to play with that, or how specifically to Ant? How do you figure out in around that, because he's gonna have the ball in his hands?
Yeah, exactly. He draws so much attention to himself, but when you surround shooters around him and guys who can play up the catch and create as well, just like how great he can create, I feel like it alleviates pressure off of him too. Being able to get in the lane when he wants to, because if you leave a shooter out on the wing by himself, everybody knows what shooters do. So I feel like just surrounding that around Ant is also good for him, because it allows him to be Ant and also allows the offense to keep creating for itself too.
So what has it been like kind of working with Mike Conley? I mean, you've worked with a lot of really Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone that comes in here always is impressed just with Mike. How's that
for
been?
Sure. Like you said, he actually reminds me of a lot of Russ, James, just the guys who embrace everybody, coming with a smile on their face every day, taking on that big role of leading a team and making sure, their voice is being heard on the floor and, in the locker room as well, keeping all the guys together. So, like you said, definitely play with a lot of grace, but Mike gets thrown in that as well, too. Since I've been here, he always took me with open arms. He's the same Mike every day with a smile on his face, so it feels good just to be, next to Mike and having that, connection with him.
Bones, how are you kind of balancing being aggressive for yourself and then getting the others involved in running and being the quarterback out there as well?
I think the biggest thing like that is just going what the game gives you, whether that's, like I said, the shot clock going down or you see the offense just being a little stagnant and they're looking for you to go for it. So I feel like the team and, teammates out there, they look for me to create for myself and create for others too. So I feel like I did a great job of that, and I do a great job of that.
Do you feel like that's something that you've kind of had to have a mindset shift with over your career from when you got drafted in Denver to where you're at now?
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I definitely did. Obviously in Denver, it was more so, second unit, just, getting on, going out there and just trying to, keep the lead up too as well. But I felt like as my career went on, it's more so taking that point guard role and getting everybody involved and playing with pace more, being shot ready, and just trying to get in the lane, create for others. So it's definitely a big, difference between 2021, 2022 Denver Bones to, LA Clippers, and then past that, learning from, greats and Hall of Famers from there, and then now with the Minnesota Timberwolves now, just, not really changing my game a lot, but also I feel like I tweaked it in a better way,
Sure.
What makes tonight a success? Like with Coach speaking to you guys, what's his message about preseason? And obviously you had a great first game, but
Yeah.
what makes tonight a success for you and for the team?
In film, coach said like this is a game where like they do everything that you want to work on as a defense and as a team. So they do a lot of slips, a lot of like peels, a lot of ball movement throughout the whole clock. You would think you got great defense with for like 20 seconds, and in 4 seconds you got to really sit down and guard even more because they had to drive it again and kick it to the corner. And it's like, man, we played 20 seconds of great defense and we gave up a corner 3. So tonight is a great challenge for us. Go out there and just try to play team defense and lock in on what the coaches is saying and elaborate on.
How do you hope to build off of your first game in preseason?
Just being the same me, going out there just playing team basketball, taking what the game gives me, knocking down open shots, getting in the lane, creating for others, and just enjoying my teammates' success.
Bones, does this feel like a team that's been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals just in the week plus you've been here? Do you sense that in this building?
Yeah, just like aside of basketball, just the vibe of the team that gives off like we've been to the Western Conference back-to-back. It gives off like we're very close, confident, in each other's success. We're confident in each other's, abilities, and that, like I said, just besides the basketball part, we all know what we can do on the floor. But I feel like off the floor, we're so close, and that shows the bond of why this team has gotten so far.
Was there anything off the court this offseason that you guys did to build that bond?
Just being in the gym.
Okay.
All summer, I feel like all the guys was just here. It wasn't like there was like many guys that was out, in different cities. Everyone was here from, summer and now all the way up to training camp. So I feel like that creates the bond too, just being in, where you're playing at, being based here and just working and just feel like that's where we at now and just keeping that bond going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.